Hello guys, how you doing? It is pretty cool to be here with you. This is Emmanuel Juncker. I'm the CEO of the digital marketing agency Clincher. And I'm here with you this time because I want to talk about one of the most important stuffs that an enterprise, it doesn't really matter what niche you are, you need to consider every time that you're going to do a new step. So the first thing that you need to know that every time that you want to start making sales online, it is to make a brand. You need to build a brand. And for some reasons that many people don't know, it is like pretending to be like easy, or maybe some people that consider that it is quite easy to make a brand or making sales online. Okay, I just gotta build a kind of flyer, or I gonna make, it doesn't matter what kind of design I gotta do, but I gotta show it to the people, and my people, I mean my objective public, is gonna be so interested about the product that I gotta build or I gotta sell. So it is not exactly like that. Just let's say, okay, I gotta be like walking around a store, but just with the main pretension that I gotta find some friends around. And I gotta just hang out with my friends that I gotta find in there. But once I find there, so I just decided maybe to drink a cup of coffee or something. It is quite different. um, the perspective that I've got as a person, as a normal guy, like being into the objective public of enterprise. Maybe the store is considering that I'm gonna get into that store, but it's not my main pretension. So, what should we do in the position of an enterprise? It is quite simple if you want to look at that in that way. So, what you need to know is that you need to build a huge attraction. You need to know that if you're not going to be in the future of that person who's going to buy your product or your service, it is going to be a cool situation where you're going to be. Maybe you're not going to be the store who that person is going to choose for finding their friends, but maybe you're a cool way. You are in the middle of the transit of that person. And if you make a cool experience, it doesn't really matter if you are in the middle of the transit, if in the middle of the way, you're gonna be cool. So being cool, it doesn't really has not the same meaning than cool for being an old store or being a new store. Being cool, well, at least for me, what I really give that meaning is that uh, you need to be attractive to that person. It doesn't really matter if you're not attractive for another kind of person that is not into your public objective. That is really important. You need to be attractive for people who you consider that is your main potential people who's gonna buy your product or service. If you understand this point, for sure you're gonna understand the whole world of digital marketing, of course, and sales as well. Because the main purpose that people has at the time of buying something needs to suit the same stuff or the same way that you're pushing your product or service. So both stuffs are gonna empathize because are gonna be in the same vibe, in the same vibration. And this is the only way how you're gonna be attractive for those kind of people who are searching for the product or service that is like similar to yours. And from the perspective that I've got, and actually also into the digital marketing agency, uh, it is really quite funny because many people, many CEOs from different niches are like, "Hey, Manuel, I'm getting crazy because we don't really know what are our people expecting from us," and um, and it's really simple. So you just need to first of all you need to calm down and breathe away, and of course you need to think about branding. Branding is it is not just word. Branding comes from brand, from making brand, from making every single step in the correct way. So if you're pushing uh, the enough importance for every single step that you're doing in front of your future clients, for sure your product or service is gonna get like more importance into the market. And that's it. You don't need to think uh, or maybe like overthinking about the price or about what kind of video I should do for being in front of my audience. It is important, of course, being in front of your audience, but it is important as well to know what you're gonna show in front of your audience. It doesn't really matter into this real and current world if you are pretending to sell exactly the same product or service that everyone else is promoting at the same size, at the same style. You need to be different. And that kind of difference that you're gonna put into your product or services is gonna push you at the top. And this is the correct way how you're gonna get like the real client that you want. It is not putting a product or service in the market that people is gonna choose, or you don't want to be an option. You don't want to be an option. You just need to remember that, because if you are pushing all your forces and of course the smart steps that you're gonna put it in the transit of that, so you're gonna make your product being the best, and people is gonna notice that. Your future clients are gonna notice that, and this is the most important stuff into this whole world. And you don't need to worry it, because if you worry just about branding, just about doing the correct stuffs into every single word and pushing the details into the correct way that people is gonna like more, so everything is gonna be cool. In this way you gotta realize that it doesn't matter the price. It doesn't matter if you double the price, people's gonna choose you because your service or product is gonna be like really quite much better. And yeah, and that's it. People is gonna love your product or love your service. Of course, and absolutely, it is also relevant to be really into deep the product or service, the kind of what kind of product or service you're giving. Because if you're pushing into branding, and once you've got that goal and you are into that point, and you get more and more and more and more sales, and you realize that people is not coming twice, so for sure you're doing something wrong into the product or the service that you're showing. And you need to promote, of course, the real stuffs that you consider that is relevant for people. Because if you are showing and or promoting products or services that are shitty products, it is not relevant, and it's not gonna be my fault in a kind of way of saying this, that you're gonna get more sales or not. Because for shitty products that many people sadly are selling currently, it's not fair. Actually, it is not fair. Anyways, so it is a probably short video that I'm telling you exactly what's the most important stuff about branding, about selling online, that you need to consider every single step, every single detail on your product or service that you're showing and promoting in front of your future clients. It is just to be different. If you're different, not only in your price, not only in your service or product, but in your way how you are showing your stuffs. I mean, how you look at the time of recording a video like this, or maybe how do you look every time that people receive a personal card, or maybe if you're promoting your service on a huge banner, how does it look? Does it look like fair? Does it look like something that I gotta buy? If you think that this is something relevant for your life and trustful, absolutely, you gotta buy that. But you need to buy yourself, and you need to buy your own stuff first if you really want to consider that other people are gonna buy your stuffs as well. But if not, if it's not like this, for sure you need to be more relevant just for yourself, just because you need it. You need to build yourself, you need to build your stuff, your whole personality, and that is branding. Because it is not just a logo. The logo has a personality that contains the whole experience that people is going to get once they get every single service or product. So it is really important to put attention in every single detail that you put on your logo, your personal cards, on your paper. It doesn't matter. Banner, if it's digital or analogic, it is relevant everything. So if you are walking around a modern city and you pretend to be like beautiful or handsome guy in front of people who's around, so of course you gotta get maybe cool, but let's stay for a while in that word. When every time that I say cool or looking good, it is not exactly the same stuff than saying I look accurate for that person. If I know that a person that I want to know uh, really likes people in sweating suits, of course, it's a cool idea. It is accurate to use a suit for that person, for that meeting. But if it's not that case, it is really relevant to consider another stuff. But first of all, investigation and doing a cool research, it is quite important. Well, not a quite. It is really relevant to do research before you start doing anything about your branding. Because the way how you look is the way how your future clients are going to trade your brand. And this is everything. So if you don't do this, for sure you're going to die in the middle of way of being success. Okay, so it is so it is a big pleasure actually to be in front of you. I gotta do some more videos like this in the future, and I gotta be also doing some interviews to other people who is really into digital marketing or e-commerce world, which is amazing, which is really amazing for me as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and leave a thumb. See you next time.